Who's the baddest man on the planet for you?
Right now, it looks like John Jones is kind of the...
What makes Khabib, he seems built different. What is it about that dude?
Yeah, he's a pure heart. But when you put a pure heart in front of a leader of the path that he's had, they're able to do amazing things.
What is your opinion on McGregor and his impact on the sport and what he's doing now?
I still think he's a genius. I still think he's doing great things for the sport. Coming back with no reason to come back other than just the fucking experience of evolution like we just watched Mike Tyson do. Like, Mike wasn't in there for nobody but himself. That's what Conor's gonna do.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here at Fight Circus 12 in beautiful Phuket Junkyard Theatre with the owner of the fastest UFC heavyweight knockout of all time, Todd Duffee. What's up, man? What are you doing in Thailand?
I'm here for Fight Circus, man. The greatest time ever. It's the true pinnacle of the sport. It is fight entertainment at the highest level. We're actually here to invent a new sport. Stay tuned.
What have they got you doing today?
I'm refereeing a brand new sport that I'm helping create and develop. I'm pretty excited about that. It's top secret stuff. We got to slow release that one. Brand new sport, brand new fighting sport. Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it.
I feel like when your average dude walks along the street and sees you, they're like, how do I look like that?
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck. They ask a lot.
Yeah.
Genetics, working out from 4th grade on every day. Genetics, you can use drugs, but it's still probably not going to do it for you because you got to work out every day, guys. Lifting weights.
I do buy it.
So right now, bare knuckle, MMA, what's your priority?
I got to go back and redeem myself after that BKFC injury. That was pretty brutal to watch, pretty embarrassing for most of us, even to watch. And the experience was probably worse, as I recall. So I'm focused on that right now. I'm just trying. They're talking about January, February. I'll probably know 6 weeks before, you know.
Anybody on your radar?
They were talking about Arlovsky, but it looks like he's locked in with Fedor. The management team's gonna. So, you know, I always want that rematch with Ben. He's already offered it to me. I just got to go out and get a win. You know, I'm not in a position to make picks. I'm just in a position to show up.
Right now, bare knuckle, I mean, it's one thing being a fighter. To fight bare knuckle, you're made of something different. Like, what is it like for you mentally to fight bare knuckle?
It's a little different. There is a little, guys like Alan Belcher, a real like student of the game, kind of talk to me about it before you even get in there. The first 30 seconds is different than any other MMA fight because there's not the same, the distance, timing, rhythm is all different for one. It's 2-beat music. You're in a 20 by 20 foot space. I shuffle twice, I'm on the ropes. Now I'm in a circle and there's no way off those ropes without contact of some sort. There is no corner. Like corners have depths. You can escape a corner. You can't really escape the ring, like a rope like that. So it's 2-beat music. It's fast and it's furious. It's a lot of fun.
How big is it going to get? McGregor's involved, viewership's going like that. Like, why do people love it, and how big is it going to get?
I think people love the violence, right? Like, it's a lot more action-packed. I think 40% of punches are landing. It's very hard to make good reads in there. It's a lot more carnage and chaos than most fighting styles.
What's it like being a heavyweight, man? It's just like those punches, the power you guys pack. I feel like there's a longevity factor with heavyweights as well.
We actually tend to go longer. We probably take a lot more damage and a lot more injuries, and so we fight less. You know, like heavyweights are the peak of the sport. I know everybody has this idea that, oh, they're not technical, oh, they're this. It's like, no, that's the peak of technical because technical is tiny.
Who's the baddest man on the planet for you?
Right now, it looks like John Jones is kind of he's proven it. There's plenty of bad men on the planet. There's 100 guys out there like John right now. Nobody's gone out there and done it like John.
Can I have your overall assessment of the heavyweight picture right now in the UFC with Aspinall, Jones?
I don't think it's getting enough respect. Like, I guess everybody's thinking about the top, but when I look through there, that top of 12 guys are all now bad as fuck. They're athletic, they're fit, they're skilled. You know, the picture at the top, I actually like Jones wanting to fight here. I think that's a more exciting fight. I don't think he's avoiding anybody. I think it's kind of silly, but you understand they're doing every dynamic they can there to both of them try to sell their fight, sell their dream, get what they want financially. I think it makes more sense for Jones to fight here.
Do you feel like you're getting, how do you feel right now as a fighter? Do you feel wiser than when you started? Do you feel stronger?
Oh yeah, you always feel that wisdom, especially as you age. Like, I started back when it was not even really a sport. So it's like, we were figuring stuff out. Like, we didn't really understand what worked best. We were still like, oh, check this out. Like, every day was a learning experience. I can remember just being on the mats with like, one of my favorite memories is watching Marcelo Garcia and Jeff Munson show each other their version of the North-South show,
Oh, yeah, 2 months.
Yeah, I got to watch that at ATT, and like, Marcelo Garcia is like known for doing the ADCC, and then Jeff Munson was probably submitted 18 people like that in MMA fights.
Spent a lot of time training at AK, right? Iron sharpens iron. What was it like? Were you like hard sparring? You had killers there, man.
Yeah, so the Bay is one of the most cutthroat cities in the world. It's a city, it's 3 cities in one, but it's a city, and it's fast, and I think that creates a special type of human there too. And then like, you have the talent that we had when we had Cain, DC. We had like 4 or 5 other guys. I can't even go through the list of like high-level, nasty heavyweights. It was fun. So like at heavyweight, guys tend to, once you break another heavyweight in the gym, they tend to kind of like act accordingly for injury purposes or even competitive purposes. Like they're trying to conserve themselves because they've already accepted that they may not be at your level. So, the one thing at AK that never happened. Cain, DC, these guys, like we all always showed up. Like I never didn't get a push. I never got a guy that like laid it. Like there's a small black room there that they use that forces conflict at a much higher rate than what's happening in all fights. So we're in a smaller space. There's more conflict happening, so you get more comfortable in those spaces. There's a lot of special things about AK. I think Khabib has done a very good job of managing that ship. And I don't think he gets enough credit for it because I don't know that people understand what that is to undertake. It took me a few years to understand him, to really appreciate what he's doing. So, AK is a very special place. It's like what it's turned into is a very special place. There's still some good, great guys coming out of there right now. There will always be that legacy, and Khabib still has these guys coming through. Mike Schwick is out here helping guys. Cain's in there coaching every day now. Ron Kessler's in there now every day. It's a special place,
What makes Khabib, he seems built different. What is it about that dude?
Well, I think his support system is ultimately what nobody wants to, they do, but they don't. I don't think that they kind of skip over it in a way. They're like, oh, he's different. It's like, no. His father instilled in him what it is to be a real man. And he had the support system to go out there and make those risks. Even with the fear and repercussions, but with the idea that he had the belief of his family and loved ones behind him, which I know a lot of guys don't have that in the sport. It's actually the opposite. They have nobody wanting them to do it. So that takes away, there's extra hurdles for some of these other individuals. But he's a pure soul. He's a pure heart. You have to be pure when you go into battle. I don't think people understand that because it is a evil thing. Essentially, you're inflicting damage on another human. You're trying to change their life. It's like the crux of evolution, but it's also the crux of the insanity and chaos of life. Khabib has a pure heart. He's a true martial artist. That's really what separates him. Obviously, the other separations are he grew up in an environment that was built perfect to create the monster that he is. And again, his father and that support system and those brothers that they create, they're brothers. They're fucking brothers. They hold each other accountable. They care about each other. They tell you, hey, dude, you're fucking up. No, we don't do that. And it's not because they're trying to impress their beliefs or anything like that. They care about it. That's such a rare thing, especially in our American culture, or Western culture, I guess is a better way to put it. It's not just Americans, but it's every man for himself. And they're, I love those, because they're my brothers. It's not, so they ain't gonna tell me what I want to know. They ain't gonna tell me what I want to hear. They're gonna tell me what I need. And they're gonna lift you up. They're also gonna put you in your place when you need it. So, but I think that community is so underrated. And I'm not trying to take away from Khabib, but everybody always focuses on Khabib. And I'm like, yeah, he's a pure heart. But when you put a pure heart in front of a leader of a pack that he's had, they're able to do amazing things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
That's why he's the leader. He's the pure heart. But I don't know. It's a very special thing, honestly, really, right?
Dude, as a coach, man, as well, it's pretty crazy.
Influence. He understands influence.
Can Islam reach the same levels? He's on his way, right?
Better.
Yeah.
He's better now. It's can his career be the same? No. I mean, chaos is out there for them to discover, right? So they're going to go discover chaos, and what's going to be is going to be, and every man dies. You're destined to die. So maybe Islam's going to take it out one day. He already has, right? So, you know, Khabib's got this hype of like he never lost. He wouldn't tell you that, but that's like the aura around him, and that builds like, especially you're only as good as your last fight in the sport. So that also like establishes him as this superior being. But man, I bet he'd tell you that Islam's a more skilled fighter than you. I mean, watching him, I would say, but like, what? You know, I'm not saying Khabib wouldn't still go there and beast his bitch ass. You know, you just don't know. But what I'm saying, like, it's silly to compare, and it's like the pound for pound greatest is the pound for pound is a stupid conversation. The greatest of all time is like, you know, who's the most impactful. It's not biased. It's not who had the best XYZ. It's like you can't compare generations. You can't really compare moments in the sport, but people do, and humanity wants to do that because we want to grasp onto some sort of like, I don't know what's going on there. It kind of always like it's like who's gonna win that? It's like, we don't know. That's why they're fighting.
Everybody's looking for context, I guess. I was there at
it's something. I don't know what that is. What do you think it is? They're looking to something tangible.
It's like when you meet someone and they say, I don't know, I'm from Switzerland, and they're like, oh, Granit Xhaka. They need to
build a story around the individual to like follow. But I guess I'm so such into the martial arts, I don't need that. I don't give a fuck.
So I was there at 229, and it was insane.
Which one was that one? The brawl, yeah.
Brawl,
I stayed home that night for some reason. I had a ticket and everything, and I opted to see it with a friend of mine who needed some help.
Yeah.
As hell, I could have been in that bitch, you know? I guess it worked out. I could have been more famous, but I don't really need to be famous for being a dumbass.
What is your opinion on McGregor and his impact on the sport and what he's doing now?
I think he's struggling emotionally, mentally, and physically like we all do with greatness. Yeah. I still think he's a genius. I still think he's doing great things for the sport. I would like to offer some things to him as a man, as a homie. You know, I understand that he's forced to kind of play into this society and culture, but you know, I think he can let off the gas of that now and kind of be a true martial artist and show his honor and be the man I know he wants to be. And I think he's fighting to do that right now. I do think he's going to come back and fight. I think he's a true fighter and a true warrior spirit. Yeah, I think he's trying to be as smart as possible. It's a shame it's a business. If it wasn't, he would just be fighting. But, you know, society and the ability to help people when you're in that type of position, sure, you've got to make good decisions. And, like, you know, I know he's under some battles, it looks like, right? Like, coming back from that kind of injury is hard. Coming back with no reason to come back other than just the fucking experience of evolution like we just watched Mike Tyson do. Like, Mike wasn't in there for nobody but himself. That's what Conor's going to do. I think it's weird that we all question him as a man. It's like, it should have come back. Yeah, 200 million, 500. Yeah. If it's what you love.
Well, that's where I want to wrap up. So we're here at Fight Circus, and Tyson Paul was kind of a freak show fight, painted as, I don't know. Here they kind of own that it's a freak show.
Yeah, they're acting like it might be competitive. You know, there's a lot of us that thought it could be, even me. And it could have been a moment strategically if, you know, he just didn't have the gas, bro. The age and the, you know, is what it is. Like, I don't think it was a bad showing. It was a bit of a freak show in the sense that, like, we kind of all knew better. Like, you're talking about a man, like, your brain dries as you get older. It's a fucking reason. Like, you lose fluid. So now you have a dry brain bouncing. That's going to take concussions differently. It's going to be easier to put a guy out. You know, I think these are money grabs. I can't really ever wrap my head around the society culture because, like, it lights the world on fire every time. And I struggle with it emotionally. And then, like, my arrogant superiority complex is like, what are we doing, guys? Like, I tried to watch it for the spectacle it is because I was with some friends this time, but typically I don't even watch it because I already kind of know how it's going to go. I'm not invested. It's kind of embarrassing that we're doing this to our culture and our society. Like, you know, it's kind of good for fighting because it can help build it, but it also takes away from what it truly is. Whereas Fight Circus, we come out here and own it. There's real shit happening. There's fun shit happening. It is still the crux of evolution, but we're not faking any fun.
Pure entertainment. We're owning it. Fight Circus 12. Todd Duffee, thanks for your time, man. Absolute wisdom. You're the man. Respect.